Hello, guys. The coin here. So I'm back for another market and economic news update. I don't know. It looks like I may be blacklisted or shadow banned on YouTube because according to my stats to my YouTube Studio page, I have two viewers in the last video that I made. And when I took a look at my YouTube video itself or the live stream, it says it has only one view. But I don't know if that is the case or if nobody is watching. Probably that's it as well. So I'm not going to read too much into it. I talk about a lot of controversy stuff here, but look, I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm trying to bring out information that I believe it is relevant. So I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm just presenting my opinion here. People may like it or not. I'm just presenting my opinion, or YouTube, in the matter of fact. I'm presenting my opinion. I try to present some facts to corroborate my opinion because I don't like to talk out of my ass, right? So that's basically what I try to do. But we all know how YouTube works. So the censorship is never ending. So, but whatever, I'll continue to do these updates, and I talk about the markets, and I talk about stuff that I believe is relevant. So let's dive into the markets today. So once again, the insanity continued. While BTC actually rose, and the reason why BTC has actually rise throughout all of the day after the stock market opened. It was because of the stock market itself. So the stock market actually rose a lot today, or at least taking out the losses of yesterday or Friday. So this is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones actually surpassed a resistance here, or a major support area, I believe. But we will have to see how it plays out tomorrow, because once again I have relevant news to talk about here that comes into play to why I'm. Like I said, the market or the market participants are completely insane, man. These people are living in another world, but we will get to that. So the S&P, well, the S&P has actually failed to get to yesterday's highs. The Nasdaq was actually gaining, was actually losing as well, I believe, or no? Yep. So the Nasdaq is still to recover from the highs of yesterday. Looks like the Dow Jones is actually the only index in the stock market that actually made it. I haven't even taken a look at gold today. Let me just see what's going on with the precious metals. Well, obviously, if the stock market is up, or the Dow Jones is up, of course, precious metals is going to be up too. And obviously, the dollar is losing its gains against the euro. So let's see if silver has reached a potential top here. Let me take a look at gold again to see if I can spot something. Let's see, be at a top. But once again, it depends what the stock market does, because it is quite obvious that gold and silver are moving with the stock market. So let us take a look at the euro US dollar. So the euro is gaining. Well, it actually got stuck here. It actually got stuck at this top here. It might be a sign that the euro might be topped out. But once again, if the stock market continues to rise, the euro will continue to rise as well. If the stock market dumps, then the euro dumps with it, and the dollar gains strength. So these are the situations that we're into. I believe that oil should be up as well, just because of the stock market's performance. Although the real winner today was the Dow Jones. So, but yeah, like we can see here, oil oil stock or the oil market is strong here as well. Let me take a look. What did I want to take a look at? So U.S. oil, the euro. What more did I want to cover? Oh, the VIX. Yeah, yes. Yesterday I talked about the VIX. So the VIX, obviously, or not so obviously, I don't know. I don't even know what to think about this. But obviously, the VIX lost strength because of maybe especially because of the rise of the Dow Jones, the S&P. So the VIX is down a little bit, although still showing some strength here. Let me take a look at the 5-minute or the 15-minute chart here. So yeah, it looks like it opened up. It opened up going to the highs, but as the stock market started to regain strength, the VIX came down. Once again, we have to see tomorrow what will happen in regards of the stock market if this rally is supposed to continue. So yeah, let's go to what I wanted to talk about in regards of the economic news today. Let me just be quick here to try to figure out what's going on. So I wanted to go back. So here we have the totals here. So the Dow Jones was up 2.13%, the S&P 1.34, the Nasdaq 0.94. So it looks like the Nasdaq actually started to gain on session the session closes. So I covered the VIX index as well, the dollar index, which I didn't cover on the chart, but is also down. Well, it's reasonable, right? If the euro is up, the dollar index can be up as well. So this is what I wanted to cover here because Wall Street surges led by energy and materials. So let us read what this is actually saying here. So because today was banks' earnings as well. Reuters, Wall Street surged on Tuesday with the Dow Jones Industrial Average ending more than 2% higher as investors bought energy and material stocks and looked beyond a recent rise in coronavirus cases. Once again, I find this fascinating because it's not, for me, it's not about the corona cases. It's about the shutdown, especially California, that was shut down yesterday. Now they're talking about Florida and eventually even Texas. So I don't understand this, guys. So businesses are not, or owners of businesses or in businesses are not open because of the lockdown, and materials are actually gaining. People are actually interested in materials, man. It's incredible what is actually going on, because what I find most fascinating even about it is that I have been starting to listen to a guy that has been a trader for 30 years, and he uses some technical indicators, very sophisticated technical indicators, and he was talking about this before the markets opened, about 4 or 5 hours before the stock market opened in the US, and yeah, it really plays out. So it looks like the stock market, or the people that are involved in the stock market, they're just in a buying frenzy. They're going from sector to sector, man. It's incredible. It's like the altcoins pump in crypto, man. It's really freaking incredible, because once again, if the economy was looking good, and And if California wouldn't be on lockdown, I would understand this. But we have to understand that that they started to close down, you know, California, man, and still material stocks. Energy and material stocks are up. Man, this is completely nuts. This is completely irrational, man. It's just completely ridiculous what's going on, man. But whatever. What the fuck do I know, man? So, and yeah, the guy was talking about this yesterday of a changing market cycle change or whatever, or rotation. Yeah, that's what he was talking about, and they will explain it here. So let me read what is actually going on here. So Amazon slipped 0.6%, and I believe that Amazon, Netflix, and Google will be in a lot of trouble in the next earnings season because ad revenues have been going down, and Amazon is making a lot of money, or giving Google a lot of money to be earned in these ads, and it looks like things are not going to look good later this month and the beginning of the month when Amazon, Netflix, and Google will have to present their earnings. Yeah, let's continue. So in and other recently strong performing technology and growth stocks, including Facebook and Netflix, recovered from deeper losses, giving the Nasdaq a last-minute shout or spread. Today is counterintuitive. We are reading about California's economy shutdown and the record spike in cases in Florida. I don't even listen to that anymore. The spike in the cases, man. And yet you have energy stocks leading, said Bob Shia, Chief Executive Officer at Trim Tabs Asset Management in New York. We're seeing a mini rotation into value. So that's what the guy was talking about before the stock market opened up. And if I'm not mistaken, Warren Buffett has invested in some oil company into the energy sector, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, maybe they're going after what he's doing, right? Maybe the investors and market participants are going after what Warren Buffett is doing as well. So I believe this is the case. Everybody called him a nuts in the beginning of the year because he was too conservative, that he lost touch with the market, and now everybody's following Warren Buffett again. So that's how it is, guys. So let's continue here. So Wells Fargo, this is also what I wanted to talk about here. So today and tomorrow will be bank earnings season as well. So Wells Fargo and Co. tumbled 4.6% after booking a quarterly loss for the first time since the 2008 financial crisis. Citigroup Inc. dropped 3.9% after it reported a steep fall in quarterly profits. So once again, banks are not doing good. Banks are doing, quite badly, And here I was reading this, and I wasn't even assimilating what I was reading. So J.P. Morgan Chase and Co. the largest, or I didn't read it actually. So J.P. Morgan Chase and Co. the largest U.S. lender rose 0.6% after it posted a smaller than expected 51 drop in second quarter profit. 51% drop in the second quarter profit, and it rose 0.6%. Can you believe this, guys? This is really nuts. It's really fucking nuts, man. But whatever. What do I know, man? I must really be. I really must be the craziest the craziest person reading all this shit, man. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it looks like it's making sense for the market. The thing is, let's see how long it will last. It's just, like I said, guys, it's just incomprehensible what is going on in the stock market. So the S&P 500 banks index dropped 1.2% as three banks set aside a combined 28 billion to cover potential losses on loans and borrowers hurt by the coronavirus pandemic. Once again, look, this is terrible news, but still the market don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about bad news right now. It doesn't matter, man. People could be dropping dead in the streets that the stock market couldn't care less. But yeah, they only care about money. Um, so Wall Street has reclaimed most of its coronavirus-driven losses since March as a threat to monetary and fiscal stimulus, and upbeat economic data raised hopes of a sweet post-pandemic recovery. Like I said, guys, it's like the stock market is in some kind of a euphoria, man. It's like the stock market must be on math or something, man. It's or speed or whatever. It's incredible, man. Nothing makes sense here, but whatever. But a recent record surge in COVID-19 cases and new businesses restriction, particularly in California, has again raised uncertainty about how it may take for the economy to recover. Like I said, things are not looking good, but the market don't give a shit, man. The market just keeps buying. They don't give a shit. Alabama, Florida, and North Carolina reported record daily increases in COVID-19 deaths on Tuesday. So, like I said, guys, this is continuing. But once again, for a graphic on COVID-19's growing potential economical impact, investors are bracing for that could be the sharpest drop in quarterly earnings for the S&P and 500 firms since the 2008 crisis. Look, the data is coming out. Everything looks worse than the 2008 financial crisis, but still the markets are up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 2.13% to end at 26,642.59, while the S&P 500 gained 1.34 to 3,197.52. So, let's continue to see here. There is some news that I didn't saw here. So, Delta Airlines Inc. Dropped 2.65% after it warned it will be more than 2 years before the industry sees a sustainable recovery from the staggering impact of the coronavirus pandemic, with demand largely tracking the curve of infections in different places. So, once again, man, the market is overwhelmed by bad news, by bad earnings, by all that is bad, and still, the market goes up. Moderna, Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq Inc. or MR Moderna jumped 4.5% after it said it plans to start a late-stage clinical trial for its COVID-19 vaccine candidate on around July 27th. So that's what it takes, man. So some pharmaceutical company to go start testing, and that stock actually pops up 4.5%, man. It's like I said, man. This is just look. This is completely insanity, man. Advancing issues outnumber declining ones on the NYSE by 1.92 to 1. Ratio on Nasdaq 1.63 to 1. Ratio favored advancers. The S&P posted 7 new 52 week highs and new lows. The Nasdaq Composite recorded 35 new highs and 31 new lows. Volume on U.S. exchanges was 10.7 billion shares compared with the 11.8 billion average for the full season over the last 20 trading days. So it looks like the volume is actually coming up, So this is part of what I wanted to cover. So let me take a look at some other economic news that I didn't saw here, especially that comes into place about the news that are actually coming on in Portugal. So let's take a look, because I also found something interesting here as well. So let me just refresh here what is going on. So this is still the bullshit story that is predominant right now, is because of the Bank Spirit Santo that went down about 4 or 5 years ago, and the new bank was born. So basically, the European Central Bank just dropped that bank which was the biggest commercial bank in Portugal. And now they are charging the leader of the bank, this guy here. I'm not saying that he's not a criminal, man, but he is as much as a criminal as the other guys, and for whatever reason, and once again, people's deposits got burned. The stock went to zero. The investors didn't got paid. That's just, and they just, European Central Bank just let it drop. They didn't care about the savings that people had in the bank, and about the stock owners. They didn't give a shit, man. They just let the bank drop, which was the biggest commercial bank in Portugal back then. So they didn't give a shit. They just let it drop. They just let it drop. So what I find is interesting about this, take a look at this politician. This is another Portuguese politician. Take a look at the sheep here, all wearing masks, and she is actually the only one that isn't wearing a mask. Everybody's practicing social distancing, or not quite, and it's like, once again, like a kind of mocking everybody. You are wearing a mask, but I know what's going on, so I don't need to. You know and people buy this shit, and they want to tell the Portuguese population that if you want to use the public transportation, you have to wear a mask. If you want to go shopping, to buy food and whatever, you have to wear a mask. It's mandatory, man. They're just laughing in our faces, man. That's what's going on. So once again, so they're still trying to get some money. So the Catalan government in Spain, the autonomous regions, they're going to shut down hotels, and they will not let people gather more than 10 people. So they're continuing to push up the lockdowns and close downs again. So Macron warns that COVID-19 is going to cause a lot of unemployment. But the problem is here that it's not COVID-19, Macron. It's your actions, it's your policies, it's the lockdowns and the shutdowns that created all this, right? It wasn't the fucking virus, because these people don't want to be liable for the crap that they have been pulling, man. But I hope people start to see that, because it's not the fucking virus, right? It's the policies. It's the ruining policies that these stupid motherfuckers, pieces of shit, are doing, man. That's what's going on. It's not the virus. It's the policies that these people are putting into place. So once again, in regards of the BAS, 18 people and 7 companies indicted for economic crimes. And this is once again they're talking about this. COVID is like on the front page, but now everything is dominated about this distraction here, right? But I was seeing here some other data. Oh yeah, so it looks like that EDP, which is the biggest and basically only energy company here in Portugal, the biggest one, So they're going to close coal centrals. So I believe this should be important. So they're going to shut down these coal plants. Here another news. So what they're saying here is that banks, are not giving access to credit to companies and to people, which isn't actually a surprise. So they're afraid of bad loans, so that people in companies won't be able to pay it back. So that, once again, guys, this shows how at least our economy is in regards of all this shit. So once again, this is about the Portuguese airline that the the expenses will have to get into the country's public expenses, which has been happening since forever. First with the new bank, now with this one, since the Portuguese states now owns about 70 to 80% of the stock. So the state is the majority owner of that Portuguese airline stock. So here is some more bullshit. So now we have fire season also starting here. We had been having a lot of high temperatures in the last 2 or 3 days. So and here's some more economic and terrifying and bad news here. So COVID-19 simplified layoff already arrived to 877,000 people, according to the Ministry of the Workforce. 877,000 people are laid off, right? So Portugal might have about 875 million euros for the next rural development on the next finance. I don't know. Finance board. So they're talking about the euro that is still gaining. Now this is about bullshit. Not relevant. This is about some Angola bank. Once again, same story. Bullshit. So PSI20 drops the Portuguese index 0.51%, which is basically nothing. With ADP, once again, we talked about ADP, the largest energy company here in Portugal, or the only one. There aren't really competitors here. So it drops, and the ADP is actually leading the drops. Bullshit. More bullshit. I don't know what this is all about. So this is about the tourism stuff. The islands. They of course they want a piece. They want a piece. No, they want the tourism to go back. But now they're bickering. Now the bickering has actually started since the continent and the islands. So the World Bank is going to help Guinea-Bissau to diminish the public debt, to sign a new program with the IMF. So I guess the IMF is already eating 3 countries since the last week or so. So the IMF is already helping 3 countries. Look, things are bad, man. And still the stock market don't give a shit, man. So they're saying here that the economical impact in Guinea-Bissau is going to be very negative. Well, if you call the IMF, I still remember when the IMF was here the last time it was here in Portugal, things got pretty bad. Pretty bad. besides of already being badly. Uh, so the oil production is going back again in June. There's no demand. If the economy is shut down, of course, there's no demand. um, so let me see if I can see here any more news. So they're talking about. Looks like there's going to be a lawsuit against in the garbage sector, in the city garbage sector. I don't know what's going on, and that more bullshit here. So people are actually worried about this shit, man. It's incredible. And instead of being worried about the people that are unemployed, man, this is incredible. All the policies that are coming out, man, they don't give a damn about the people. They don't give a damn about the small companies, the medium and small companies, man. It's fucking incredible, man. They don't give a shit. So they're giving money to not useless. I'm not saying that it is useless. Agriculture is some serious business here, but a lot of families don't have money right now, right? They're not eating these people. Once again, man, these people don't give a fuck about you. Like George Carlin said, they don't give a fuck about you. So now they're talking about 5G. So big company, Sonai, which is one of the biggest companies here in Portugal, in the retail service, is going to invest 25 million euros in Dourada production in Algarve in 2022. Dourada, I believe it is some kind of a fish, so they're investing in the fishing sector, if I'm not mistaken. Brussels asks for countries of the EU to not help companies connected to offshores. Of course, there's no money and they want it. Now they're going to get it back. They're going to go for our social security as well. So Douro forecasts a breakdown in production of the cranberries. Is it cranberries? Or no, of grapes. Of the grapes, for the vine and stuff like that. So in 2020. So more bad news. And I guess that's it. There's a lot of bullshit here going on. A lot of bullshit here. Yeah, Coimbra has been in the headlines a lot lately here. So it says here that a system to opening doors without using your hands is created in Coimbra. So this is impaired because of people actually, worried about the contagions of the coronavirus. Yeah. So it says here that industrial production starts to recover in May in the Eurozone, in the EU, Eurostat. I don't believe it. Let's see if there is actually some data here to corroborate here. Diesel production started to recover in the Eurozone. According to the data from the Statistic Bureau, industrial production rose 12.4% in the Eurozone and 11.4 in April after 2 months of breakdown. What? 12.4%, 12.4 and 11.4%. These numbers are almost unbelievable. After 2 months of breakdowns because of the confinement. In comparison with the same month in 2019, industrial production presented a slowdown of 20.9% in the Euro and 20.5% in the EU. So like I said, guys, they're just, just cooking up these numbers, because if year to year in the same month, it's down 20.9 in the Eurozone and 20.5 in the EU, they're just, like I said, guys, they're just making like it doesn't look that bad. That's what they're trying to do here. So they say here that in Portugal, the indicator dropped 26.1% and has risen 2.3%. Once again, man, I really have a hard time believing these numbers, man. So there are some numbers of other countries here saying that the countries that have registered bigger breakdowns was Slovakia with minus 33.5%, Hungary with minus 27.6%, and Romania with minus 27.4%, with no rise in the indicator. According to April, the most principles were observed in Italy, 42.1% in Italy, France 20.0, and Slovakia 19.6. What? Italy 42.1? France 20? Man, I really find it very hard to believe this, man. Italy, man. Supposedly a lot of people died. They were into lockdown, one of the worst lockdowns in Europe. And they're up 42.1%. I really can't fucking believe these numbers, man. So and the biggest breakdowns was in Ireland, less 9.8%, Croatia minus 3.5%, and Finland minus 1.3%, man. I don't believe these numbers, man. These numbers must be cooked, man. There is no fucking way, man. Especially Italy, man. So once again, everything is economy. Algarve's tourism is forecasting a loss of 320 million euros on the first year of the first quarter of the year. So it looks like quarantine is lifted in Macau, which used to be part of Portugal before China took it back. So yeah, there's much more news here that I can cover here. So yeah, looks like I have someone watching here. would be great if you post something on the chat, because if not, I'm going to end this stream here because I've been here for a while. And once again, some actually big news, but in the end of the day, it looks like it's fucking irrelevant. It's business as usual, despite of all the bad data and the cooking numbers, which I believe that they are coming, especially out of Italy and France. I don't believe it one single bit, but you know, we'll have to wait and see if these numbers are to continue or if it's just another bullshit here going on. But yeah, guys, I guess I'm going to end the stream now. I don't have anything else to talk about. I guess I covered everything for now. If I have something more to talk about, I will come back and I will discuss it. So that's it for now. I'm the Coin, and I'm out.